So, an astonishing story for you. It's about Elaine Walker and Jackie Green. They're sisters who were separated when Elaine was adopted when she was just 8 weeks old. For 35 years, Elaine, who's now 59 and living in Cleveland, searched for 65-year-old Jackie, who's from near Croydon, without any success. All that time, Jackie didn't even know Elaine existed. There was then an incredible coincidence that brought the two together. In fact, it turns out they'd been friends online without even knowing it. Elaine and Jackie are here. It's an amazing story, you two. Just tell us. You obviously, Elaine, knew that Jackie was out there.
I knew she was out there. She didn't know about me. So I've done 35 years of searching and just kept hitting dead ends and dead ends. And
so what did you know about Jackie when you were searching?
All I knew was her Christian name and her maiden name. But there was gaps in the records when we tried searching, and I couldn't find. I knew she'd been married, but I didn't know her married name and things like that. So, as I say, I hit dead ends. I was just coming up against brick wall after brick wall until last year, and an elder brother of ours died, and he died intestate, and one of these air hunters companies got in touch with us, and they accidentally let slip Jackie's surname.
And amazingly though, I mean, even at that point, you didn't twig that Jackie, who you knew online effectively,
yes,
was someone you'd been playing, you'd had nicknames. So just tell us what that was. You'd been playing bingo online for 8 years, but you didn't know each other's real names.
I was Dukey 11.
And I was Whiskey 666.
Right, we won't go into those, but...
No, actually, Whiskey was the name of a dog that I owned, and that I took his name and just added my numbers and that. And
so under those pseudonyms, you knew each other?
We were good friends. Yeah. Online friends.
Online friends. And that was it, you know. But it was the banter that was going backwards and forwards between us.
Tell us about that.
We used to have
you were called the Terrible Twins, weren't you? Online?
One of the chat managers actually called us the Terrible Twins. We used to keep her awake at work, and she said she had to take a box of tissues in because she would be crying not with sadness but with laughter at the two of us bantering away and joking online.
Nobody could get a word in edgeways. None of the other players could get a word in because me and my sister were just going hammer and tong at one another.
They were too busy laughing.
What was it? I mean, it's amazing that you were sisters and obviously had no clue, but you had that connection online. What was it that sort of made you
I don't know. I mean, I used to go on and tell Jackie about my day at work and curse my boss and things like that. And
I used to make a joke of it. And that would start it off.
So it's like there was just a natural connection between the two of you.
Yeah. And it used to make me feel better. I'd go home from work and I lived alone, and I'd go online and obviously have a lot of banter with Jackie.
Amazing. And so then, take us back then to that moment when you'd been searching for Jackie, but you didn't know the surname, and then the surname was given to you by accident.
And I thought, right, where do I start from here? Yeah. And I suddenly thought, one of my favourite occupations now, I went on Facebook and I searched for Jacqueline Green, and there was thousands and thousands and different spellings, and I didn't know whether it was Green with an E on the end, but I narrowed it down to London or the South, and eventually after about a week I clicked on this one's profile and I just looked at her and I went, she's got my eyes, she's got this, and I could see resemblances, and so I sent her a message and it said, "Hi Jackie, you don't know me, but..."
Were you convinced?
I was convinced.
Right,
when
so
I saw her face, I just said, "Hi Jackie, strange message, but was your mum?" And I gave the full name, and I said, because if so, I'm your sister, and I gave my birth name and a lot of details, and got a message back a little while later saying, "Hi sis."
And Jackie, when you got that message, What did you think? Because you didn't know that you had a sister out there.
I just sat and looked at the screen and I'm thinking, well, hang on a minute, how did she know my mum and dad's name? You know, which is natural. And I'm reading the story and I'm thinking, hang on, something's clicking here. And I messaged her back and I went, hi, how do you know me? Which is natural. And she went, bingo. I went, I only played on one site called Bingoport, and she went, so did I. What was your player name? And when I told her, she went, I'm your terrible twin, Dukey. And that was it. I just sent her a message back and saying, right, this is my landline number, this is my mobile number, give me a ring. And she did. And we were on the phone for 3 hours.
And have you been kind of inseparable since?
Yep, we're on the phone every week and everything.
We're only separated by distance.
Yes, but she phones me every week because of my illness, because I'm always in and out of hospital with my illness. And so she rings me every week just to make sure I'm okay.
And when she's not so good, it's 2 or 3 times a week.
It's fabulous. But there's another sister.
Yes.
As we say,
in between the two of us.
Yeah. And you want to find her.
It would be nice to find her, yeah.
She was adopted at the same time as me. I've known about her all my life because my adoptive parents actually met her when they picked me up.
What do you know about her?
All I know is that she's called Wendy. Her last known address was in Scotland. She's got a son, and she was born in February of 1955, and that is it, that she was adopted. Obviously her name was changed, but her Christian name was kept the same because she was older. She was answering to Wendy, so her adoptive parents kept her Christian name the same and changed her surname, and that's all I know.
So it would be nice, you know, to find
she's
her
the one
and complete the family, you know.
We'll have to be the terrible trio instead of the terrible
What can you
twins.
do to try to find her? Because that moment when you got Jackie's surname was just a real sort of stroke of luck, wasn't it?
I've tried, air hunters have tried, different companies have tried. I've written to, years ago I wrote to Cilla Black on Surprise Surprise. I've done the Long Lost Families thing, I've written to magazines, I've done everything over the 35 years, and every single one of them has hit the same brick wall. So other than, this is one of the reasons why I've agreed to come down to London and do these programmes, is the fact that somewhere out there she might be watching.
Let's really
And if she is,
get in touch.
Please get in touch. I'd love to. I wrote to Cilla Black and said I would like to meet my sister Wendy before my 30th birthday, and it was roughly 30 years ago to now. So I'm saying now, Wendy, I'd like to meet you before my 60th birthday in May.
Well, we really hope. We really hope if let's see. Maybe somebody is watching.
Nice.
Thank you for coming and telling us your amazing story.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.